now recording. Hey, I want to hear from you this morning. Give me a win you had this week. Tell me a win you already expect about the week coming up. Something that you're thankful for. I'll start off. Last week after we got off the call, our dog ate a sock. Yep, that's how our week started. Like half the entire sock. So we ended up at the ER with said dog. I won't even talk about the expense that went along with that, but he's doing great. He thinks everything is wonderful. That's old Albert over there. Some of you have met Albert. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. So, but we're super thankful he's good. So, Anthony closing a double-sided transaction today. Come on. Come on. Somebody tell us something good. What do you got? Lay it on us. Put your hand up or just come off mute. Come on now. Where you at? I know you had something good. Personal, business.
I got something.
Okay, I'm listening. Go, Felicia.
Last week, we talked about on this call, we talked about personal brand and that your personal brand is not so much what you think people think about you, but what they actually think of when they think of you.
There you
And
go.
so I just had a harebrained idea while I was on that call to test that theory. So I wrote down a list. I got off that call, I wrote down a list of the things that I felt like I hoped people thought were part of my brand. And then I proceeded to ask a whole lot of people in my life, hey, when you think of me, what do you think of? And I didn't give them any instructions. I just rapid fire. And I would say I was probably 80 to 90% aligned. So I will consider that a win. I felt like I did, I got a few surprising answers and a few that I loved and all of those things. But anyway, I just thought that was a win considering our call last week.
Well done, Felicia. Great job following up on it too, right? We talked about that last week, that our brand is actually who we are, our identity, and how do we get clear on that. We're going to talk in more depth today about really understanding clarity. That's what today's call is all about. Felicia, I love that you followed up on that. Everybody should do that. Yeah. Somebody else this morning. What do you got? Anybody? Come on.
So my son got his real estate license last week. So I am super excited. And now my referral partner for South Alabama is my child. So I'm excited.
That's what I'm talking about. Well done, Monica. That's awesome. Hey, if you got referrals for South Alabama, that's where you're going to send them. Come on now. One of my favorite places on the planet is Alabama. Let's see. Amber put our son Leland. Oh gosh, Amber broke and dislocated his knee first week of June, resulting emergency surgery, shifted our summer. However, we went to Disney on Disney Cruise this week, wheelchair in tow, making the magic happen even in tough times. Come on. I love that, Amber. Come on. I know you're a Disney person. Grateful to hear that he's doing well. And man, what a spirit, man, that he's like, hey, I'm going anyway. So give me a wheelchair. Let's go. Allie, that is great news to hear about Nick's mom, that the surgery went well, recovery's there. And we absolutely will be in prayer. No more cancer. I know you guys got a couple moving parts over there, Allie. So I love you. I love you. We love you. Anybody else this morning? Anything going on? Anything you're thankful for? A win you want to share? Anybody? Come on now. Is that it? Okay.
I have a win. We got 2 new townhome listings in Harriman that we just got on the market the last 2 weeks, and we have another coming up in Logan. And I feel like real estate can be so like dry for a second, and then all of a sudden we have a vacation planned here in a couple weeks, and I was wanting to completely disconnect for it. And now we have so much like ramping up that I'm like, oh, okay, this is what happens. So apparently you just need to plan more of those trips more often.
Just plan. They say if you just plan to go on vacation, it'll happen. So, well, hey,
right?
Congratulations. I think we all know in this call,
Thanks.
the real estate world, this is no easy game that we're playing out there, right? And it's time on task, overtime, done consistently. Keep making the plays. Don't stop. Everybody write this down. Just because it's not working doesn't mean it's not working. Okay? I promise you, it's working. You just keep making the plays, okay? You got to stay consistent long enough that it becomes a habit. You got to stay consistent long enough that you see the results. And sometimes we feel like they're not coming. I promise you, they are coming. Just because it's not working doesn't mean it's not working. Okay? All right. Well, hey, we're going to dig in today. I'm excited about what we're talking about today, because here's what I'll tell you. We have a lot of calls week in and week out, but I'll tell you today, I think is the most important one. And here's why. Because if you and I don't have clarity on the purpose that we are doing everything, nothing will matter. Everything will feel fleeting. We will feel in pure chaos all the time. Okay. But when we get really, really clear on who we are, like we talked about last week, right? And our direction that comes from our purpose, I promise you, everything begins to look different. So I just want you to write that word down today, clarity. And I want to hear from you today as we get started. When you hear the word clarity, what does that mean to you? There's no wrong answer here. What's clarity to you? Anybody? Come on. What's clarity to you?
Seeing where you're going.
Say it again, Debbie.
Seeing where you're going.
Seeing where
Having-
you're going. Right. Being able
Having
to
a path.
see it.
You got
That's
that
right.
light at the end of the tunnel.
That's
There's a
right.
light at the end of the tunnel, and you can see it, and you're headed there.
That's right. Even though we're probably not there yet, right? I know where I'm going. Okay, everybody write that down. Well said, Debbie. Like, I know where I'm going. Okay, Allie, what was it that you said?
When things make sense.
When things make sense. Yeah. Hey, how many of you, when you're in a great place of clarity, no matter how crazy things are, you go, hey, I still know my directions. Things still are in order for me, even though everything may feel out of order. I love that. Anybody else?
I'll tag on back on. I got a little bit more. I find that if I'll go to that place where I know I can sit, and like if I go to the beach, I can sit and I can get some clarity. Because I live in Fort Worth, Texas. There ain't no beach here.
That's right. We have to leave. We
I have to leave to get
gain that
clarity. I have to leave and take my notebook and sit on the beach in my beach chair and go, okay, Lord, what is it?
I love it. I love it. Hey, how many of you know that sometimes you just need to get away, you need to get alone, you need to get quiet, and you need to go, hey, I need to gain clarity. Okay. Can I tell you a lot of times why we don't have clarity? It's because we do not stop, slow down, and actually do that. We get so caught up in the day-to-day of what am I doing and what needs to be done and where am I behind and who needs me and what are the struggles that are happening, right? We get so caught up in doing that we walk right past being and understanding the clarity about who we are. Okay. Felicia, you said this really well. Felicia said, 2 things I know, clarity and confusion both compound. Okay. Also, clarity follows action, not the other way around, right? Melissa Saunders, I love this, says no gray area. Hey, when you're real clear on something, there's no gray area, right? You're like, hey, I know exactly where I'm going. I have full, complete clarity on who I am, what my purpose is, and where I'm going. Holmes put on here, working through life without altering your perspective, right? Like, hey, I know the direction. I know who I am. I know where I'm going. Does this help you guys so far? Okay. Here's the reason that I want to bring this up. Okay. When things get difficult, I think that's when our clarity gets challenged. Would you agree with that? On every turn, I think we start being asked the question, hey, do you have true clarity about who you are and where you're going? So last week we talked about clarity of your identity, right? Of who you are, because that's who we want people to see. I told you, people aren't doing business just with you because you sell houses, or maybe you run an organization with a lot of people. They're doing business with you based on who you are. Are you with me? Okay. And so last week, as we talked about identity, this week I want to talk about your purpose and getting clear on your purpose. All right. Okay. I've asked you some of you this before. Do we have any runners on the call? Anybody? You run on purpose? Like nobody's. Yeah, Anthony, you're one of those on purpose runner guys. You're not getting a medal for it. We're just gonna run because it's fun, right? I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's my favorite quote. When you are running a mile, or when you're running a marathon, you better know why you're running, because the last mile is going to ask you, right? Anthony, when you ran those 11, it started asking you, right? It started talking really, really loud, okay? And in those moments, if I don't have clarity in the middle of those moments, in the middle of the chaos, how many of you think we're going to be prone to wonder, and how many of you think we're going to be prone to possibly quit? Right? Or possibly even just back up on the mission. Anybody ever done that? Okay, now let me pause for a second. Sometimes we need to pause and readjust, because maybe we need to adjust the vision or the direction that we're going, because maybe, just maybe, we got out of alignment with our purpose. Okay? Let me tell you why this is so important. Okay? When you are clear and have clarity on your purpose, decisions come really, really easy. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay? Like when I am in a position of, hey, not only do I know who I am, my identity, but I also know my purpose, then my decisions get very, very clear. It's very easy for me now to say no when it's time for me to say no, because I'm not worried about anything at all, because I know my purpose. Here's a great question to ask yourself on a daily basis. Is what I'm doing today in alignment with my purpose? Okay? And if it's not, then we may need to adjust what we're doing. Is the way I'm thinking right now in alignment with my purpose? Because if it's not, then I may need to adjust the way that I'm thinking. You guys tracking with me on this? And when we get clarity around that, what happens is you and I are able to make decisions very easily, okay? I've had a lot of people ask me, many of you know me, you know that I was a Bold coach, and then I was director of Bold for a couple of years. And I literally left like at the peak of my career, right? Like, I'm out. And people are like, wait. Like, you got here, and then like, why would you leave? And let me explain this to you real clearly. Because my ultimate purpose, my number one purpose, starts right here inside my four walls. My last year being director of Bold, I traveled 140 days. That's 140 days that I didn't kiss my bride goodnight. I didn't sit down next to my kids as they laid down in their bed. I didn't get to do that. I lost that. You with me? And I literally was standing in a room, like, preaching to everybody about their purpose. And I was like, hey, you get to define it. And literally got stopped in my tracks that I was not walking in the middle of mine. You guys with me on this? Now, it made no sense to anybody else. All right, like, everybody thought he lost his mind. He's lost his mind. Okay? Clarity. You guys tracking with me on this? So I want to ask you, do you have clarity in your purpose inside the four walls of your home? Do you have clarity in your purpose in your spirit? Okay? In who you are? Do you have clarity of purpose in what you do every day, and in why you do that every single day? You guys with me? When you get real clear on your purpose, decisions become really, really easy. And we talked about this last week. I want to give them to you again in case you missed them. Let me tell you what else clarity does. Number one, it makes decisions really, really easy. Because all I do is go, hey, is this in alignment with my purpose? And if the answer is yes, then I'm going all in. If the answer is no, it's not personal. It's just, this isn't in alignment with where I'm going. You with me? Okay. And can I tell you, you'll probably know you're making some pretty big moves in your purpose, because there will be plenty of people who do not understand what you're doing. Like, there'll be plenty of people that'll be like, hey, like, I think maybe you've lost your mind. Yeah, right. It's called purpose, right? Like, clarity. I get it. I know you don't. That's fine. Okay. All right. Can I tell you, those same people will come back to you and ask you for help later when they're lost in the middle of trying to figure theirs out. Okay. You guys with me on this? So don't apologize for it. Just step into it. Number one, it makes decisions easy. Number two, it is magnetic. It's magnetic. Like when you step into the fullness of who you are, your purpose, okay? I promise you, people take notice of that and they want to be a part of that. Okay? It's not just, it doesn't just change you, it changes every single person around you as well. It's magnetic. Okay? It's also contagious. Clarity is contagious. I don't know about you. I want to be in a room with people that have clarity. And can I tell you one of the biggest reasons I want to be in a room with people that have clarity? Because it helps me where I don't. It helps my lack of clarity where I'm missing. Man, I get around people who are very clear in their vision. They know exactly who they are. They know exactly where they're going, and they know exactly why they're going there. You guys with me on this? And I want to make sure that you and I know that. All right. Okay. So it is 100% makes decisions easy. Okay. Number two, it is magnetic. Okay. Number three, it is contagious. Anything else that you guys know about clarity that you want to share that you would just jump in and share with us? Anybody? You don't have to, but you can. Anybody? What's something that you've noticed about clarity? How many of you know people that are very clear, like have a very clear vision and have clarity? Do you know people like that? What are your thoughts about people like that? Let me hear from you.
So, Dusty, when I have clarity on anything, the biggest thing I notice is that it gives me the power to really be where my feet are.
Oh, there you go. Everybody write that down. Yeah. Gives you the power to be present, right, Monica? I'm
Yes.
thinking about what's next because I'm very clear in where I'm at because I know where I'm at and what I'm doing is much bigger maybe than what I even see right now, right? My cousin Sherry said it's re-energizing. Come on now, right? Re-energizing when I understand it. Felicia said clarity gives other people confidence in you, what you do and how you do it. Holmes, what do you got when it comes to clarity?
Well, I mean, I'm surprised, honestly, no offense, that it's taken however many minutes we're in the call to mention Scotty Scheffler. But um,
I was gonna
thank
leave,
you for. I just saw Allie
but I knew
laugh.
you'd
Allie
bring it
Monroe
up.
just laughed in the upper corner of the Hollywood Squares. That made me laugh. But um, I think when you look back, and Scotty caught a lot of flack, and people cheered that his response this week on where he found his purpose wasn't golf and all that. I think when you are clear about the contagious, there will be some negativity,
Yeah,
but it also helps when things don't go your way. If you're clear, you handle it better because I truly believe your perspective matters.
that's right.
And I think, and everybody's easy. Well, it's easy because he makes millions playing golf. I don't think it defines him. And I think how we define ourselves helps us with that clarity. And so
That's right.
I do believe it's contagious.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. It just draws us in, right? And I love that you said the word define, Ryan, because that's like literally define coaching is what I started. And the whole reason was, hey, I no longer want to be defined by anything other than what I know defines me. Right. And for all of us on on this screen, the beauty of this is you get to choose that. Okay. You get to define what that looks like, right? And then we want to ask ourselves on a daily basis, is what I'm doing in alignment with that, right? Can I tell you how I quickly get outside of clarity as I start doing things that are outside of my lane of purpose? I start saying yes to things that I should say no to. I start worrying about things that aren't mine to worry about, right? I start getting caught up in all the stuff rather than going, hey, I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I know why I'm going. And that allows me then to live a life of what I call defined distinction, which is just a life of definition, right? I mean, that's what we're looking for, right? That we would live this life of definition, okay? So I want you to remember all this around clarity because as you leave today, one, I want you to have clarity on your purpose, okay? Because when you're running those 11 miles like my buddy Anthony, and at mile 7 it says, hey, we should probably stop, but you know that's not the goal, right? When you know your purpose deep down, it will take you to mile 8. It will take you to mile 9. Okay, you guys with me on this? I'm going to show you a video to end today, and many of you have seen this video probably plenty of times. I've watched this video like 1,000 times, and it stirs my soul every time. But the reason I'm going to show it to you is you're going to see a video of somebody who literally right in front of your face steps into their purpose. And I want you to see what happens when that happens, because that's the opportunity you have when you leave today. And my goal is that you leave this call ready to run through a brick wall, all right? Because you know exactly who you are, right? Like we're going to get another shirt for Define that just says, I know where I'm going, all right? Because that's clarity, okay? So let me share this with you real quick, and then we will jump off the call here, and you can go and blow up your day and your week, all right? Here you go. You're going to love it. Here we go. Give me a thumbs up. You can hear it. When they...
Benj and Justin have just written this new song called This Is Me. And
all right, get
we
ready.
knew that it was going to be the anthem of the film, but no one had heard it before, and no one had heard Kiala sing it live. Kiala, who I didn't even want to come out from behind the music stand.
I didn't.
I kept saying to her, just step out, because this is your moment, and you have to step out into the ring, metaphorically, because that's what you're doing, and you got to stand right there in front of everyone and just belt this out.
And I didn't want to. In fact, I stood behind that music stand until the day of that presentation. There was a moment in the song that I actually was so scared that I had to actually grab Hugh's hand so that I had somebody to hold on to. And then we got to the end of the number, and all I remember is just deafening applause. It was a sort of otherworldly experience.
It was one of those moments that will stay with me the rest of my life. Unfortunately, we filmed it.
Oh, come on now. Hey, you got to be ready for today now. Yes? Do you see what clarity looks like? Do you see what happened when she stepped out from behind what she was afraid of and she stepped into the place that was created for her? That's called purpose. And when you step out into it, that's exactly the same thing that can happen in your world, all right? That's what I want you to do this week, okay? Hey, as we finish up, I want to tell you something that we're going to be doing. This is not a sales pitch. It's just for you guys to know, because you guys, so many of you have been on this call with us for literally years, which just stirs my soul, man, and blows my mind that you would keep coming on. Like the worst fear of anybody who does a Zoom is like, is anybody going to show up, right? Like it's 10:30, nobody's in the waiting room. So thank you so much. So many of you have asked, hey, can we do more? We need more. We're in a difficult market. So we are going to be kicking that off for those of you who want to. If you don't want to, that's fine. This call is going to continue to be free. But we're going to be starting something called the Define Tactical Edge, which is going to be this call every week. And then it's going to be a call on Tuesday that's straight tactics in the real estate arena that is working right now. Okay, so every Tuesday, we're going to have Tuesday tactics. It's going to be an hour-long call specifically for all of you who choose to show up. And then every Friday, we're going to have what's called Review Preview. And we're going to have some incredible agents that are on there talking about how they've utilized the tactics that we talked about on Tuesday, review your week, and then preview the next week. So we're going to have a founders group that kicks all that off. So if you would want to be a part of that founders group and be a part of that every week on Monday and then Tuesday, and then also a call on Friday, just put a 1 in the chat for us. And we're going to reach out to you directly. You're going to get a different rate than everybody else does in this founders time. And so it's $49. That's it. You pay $49. You get all of that every single week. We just want to pour everything that we can into you from Define Coaching. So if you're interested in that, just drop a 1 in the chat. We're going to reach out to you. I love you. I'm so thankful for you. How many of you are more clear today on your purpose and where you're going? Okay. Go be that, go do that, and I promise you, people will want to be around you and people will do business with you, okay? All right, hey, I love you guys, bless you. We'll see you next week. Thank you guys so much. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Love it, love it, love it. Awesome.
Bye, Dusty.
Bye, guys. Thank you, Debbie. See you guys. Bye-bye.